Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Om Namo Vasudevaya.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Okay, we're reading from Canto 9, Chapter 5, verses 8 to 20. I'm sorry that I'm not speaking in German, but I have only 2 brain cells left. We're going to do the prayers before because it's so many verses and I don't want to. I want to have a flow. So, huh? Yeah. A lot of people are happy if I speak in English. Me too. Om Ajnanatimirandasya Ginanjana Shalakaya Chakshurunvalitam Yena Tasmai Shri Guruve Namah Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Stapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Garamayam Darati Svaparandikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Upadakamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavam Sha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Saganara Gunatambitam Tam Sachivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Saitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sagana Lalita Shri Vishakanitamscha He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dinabandhu Jagatpate Gopisha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostite Tapta Kanchana Gourangi Radhe Vrindavanishwari Vrishabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Sorry. Vanchakalpatarubhyascha kripasindhubheva cha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavyo namo namaha. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasari Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Okay, so verse 8. Yada vishishtastvam ananjanena vai. Yada vishishtastvam ananjanena vai. Balam pravishto jita daityadanava. Balam pravishto jita daityadanvam. Bahudaro Vankrishi Rudarani Bahudarorvanki Shirodarani Vrishchan Ajasram Pradane Virajase. Okay. Yada vishishtasvam anantanevai. Balam bhavishto jita daityadanavam. Bahudharorvankshirodarani Okay. Stars and Alambra Vishnu Jita Daitya Uttarurvan Gishirutarani Visham Hajasam Bhadane Virasham. Nuja, hast du vielleicht eine Tissue? Das wäre toll, danke. Okay. Yada. When. Vishrishta. Sent. Tvam. Your good self. Ananjanena. By the transcendental Supreme Personality of Godhead. Vai. Indeed. Balam. The soldiers. Pravishta. Entering among. Ajita. O infallible one. Oh no, wait. Indefatigable one. The one that does not get tired. Indefatigable. Yeah, fatigue. Huh? Yeah. The fatigue is müde, and indefatigable means the one that does not get tired. The indefatigable and unconquerable one. Daitya Danavam. Of the Daityas and the Danavas. The demons. Bahu. Arms. Udara. Bellies. Uru. Thighs. Thighs is Oberschenkel. Thighs. I know. Steht so nicht da, aber Englisch ist ganz schrecklich. English has the most horrible spelling. Angry. Legs. Shiradarani. Necks. Vrishchan. Separating. Ajashram. Incessantly. Meaning without stop. Also es hört nicht auf. Incessant ist, es geht weiter und weiter. Unablässig, ja. Pradane. In the battlefield. Virajase. You stay. So, indefatigable one, when you are sent by the Supreme Personality of Godhead to enter among the soldiers of the Daityas and Danavas, you stay on the battlefield and unendingly separate their arms, bellies, thighs, legs, and heads. Haribol. Okay, I'm just going to read the English translations of all the other verses until 20, otherwise it's going to, yeah. O protector of the universe, you are engaged by the Supreme Personality of Godhead as his all-powerful weapon in killing the envious enemies. For the benefit of our entire dynasty, kindly favor this poor Brahmana. This will certainly be a favor to all of us. If your family has given charity to the proper persons, if our family has given charity to the proper persons, if we have performed ritualistic ceremonies and sacrifices, if we have properly carried out our occupational duties, and if we have been guided by the learned Brahmanas, I wish in exchange that this Brahmana be freed from the burning caused by the Sudarshan Chakra. If the Supreme Personality of Godhead, who is one without a second, who is the reservoir of all transcendental qualities, and who is the life and soul of all living entities, is pleased with us, we wish that this Brahmana Durvasa Muni be freed from the pain of being burned. Shukadev Goswami continued. When the king offered prayers to the Sudarshan Chakra and Lord Vishnu, because of his prayers, the Sudarshan Chakra became peaceful and stopped burning the Brahmana known as Durvasa Muni. Verse 13. Durvasa Muni, the greatly powerful mystic, was indeed satisfied when freed from the fire of the Sudarshan Chakra. Thus he praised the qualities of Maharaj Ambarish and offered him the highest benedictions. Durvasa Muni said, My dear king, today I have experienced the greatness of devotees of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. For although I have committed an offense, you have prayed for my good fortune. For those who have achieved the Supreme Personality of Godhead, the Master of the pure devotees, what is impossible to do, and what is impossible to give up? What is impossible for the servants of the Lord? By the very hearing of his holy name, one is purified. O King, overlooking my offenses, you have saved my life. Thus I am very much obliged to you because you are so merciful. Expecting the return of Durvasa Muni, the king had not taken his food. Therefore, when the sage returned, the king fell at his lotus feet, pleasing him in all respects, and fed him sumptuously. Verse 20. Just hold on a second. Gross. Thus the king respectfully received Durvasa Muni, who after eating varieties of palatable foods was so satisfied that with great affection he requested the king to eat also, saying, Please take your meal. Verse 20. I'm just going to read the Sanskrit because that's the one that has the purport. Danke. Kritos mianu kritos mi. Huh? Yeah, okay, not Sanskrit, I'm sorry. Durvasa Muni said, I am very pleased with you, my dear king. At first I thought of you as an ordinary human being and accepted your hospitality, but later I could understand by my own intelligence that you are the most exalted devotee of the Lord. Therefore, simply by seeing you, touching your feet, and talking with you, I have been pleased and have become obliged to you. Purport. It is said, Vaishnavera Kriya Mudra Vijeha Na Bujihaya. Even a very intelligent man cannot understand the activities of a pure Vaishnava. Therefore, because Durvasa Muni was a great mystic yogi, he first mistook Maharaj Ambarish for an ordinary human being and wanted to punish him. Such is the mistaken observation of a Vaishnava. When Durvasa Muni was persecuted by the Sudarshan Chakra, however, his intelligence developed. Therefore, the word Atma Medasa is used to indicate that by his personal experience he would understand how great Vaishnava the king was. When Durvasa Muni was chased by Sudarshan Chakra, he wanted to take shelter of Lord Brahma and Lord Shiva, and he was even able to go to the spiritual world, meet the personality of Godhead, and talk with him face to face. Yet he was unable to be rescued from the attack of the Sudarshan Chakra. Thus, he could understand the influence of the Vaishnava by personal experience. Durvasa Muni was certainly a great yogi and a very learned Brahmana, but despite his being a real yogi, he was unable to understand the influence of Vaishnava. Therefore, it is said, Vaishnavera Kriya Mudra Vijeha Na Pujaya. Even the most learned person cannot understand the value of a Vaishnava. There is always a possibility for so-called jnanis and yogis to be mistaken when studying the character of a Vaishnava. A Vaishnava can be understood by how much he is favored by the Supreme Personality of Godhead in terms of his inconceivable activities. Okay, so um, yeah. We can see this all over the Bhagavatam, that the mystic yogis or that the Vaishnavas can be hidden. It's not that you can't always see them, or at least, yeah, it's not always the highest people in the highest positions that are the Vaishnavas. It's not the people who dress a certain way, but you understand that a Vaishnava is a Vaishnava by the way they act and by the way they speak, regardless of what they look like and what job they do and what service they do. You can have someone who washes the pots and the pans in the kitchen for 30 years and they are an extremely advanced Vaishnava, but then you can have a temple president that does the job, but he's maybe not so. Not our temple president. Our temple president is Paka Vishwadev. But so you can realize a Vaishnava by spending time with him. If your enthusiasm, if by spending time with someone, your enthusiasm for chanting, for reading, for spending time with devotees, for doing service, if any of those things goes up when you spend time with someone, then you can say that they are, if it's a devotee. But also I have had the experience that I have spent time speaking with people from other religions, and when we discuss the similarities of our religion, it was a young a young girl who came to our no, yeah, a young student who came to our bhakti yoga um, programs in Stellenbosch in South Africa, and she was a Sufi. She was a Muslim, um, and we became friends, and we usually we spoke about the similarities, the things that were similar between Bhakti Yoga and Islam. And I have to say that after speaking with her, my enthusiasm for Krishna consciousness also went up. And that happens if you speak to people who are sincere about their practice, no matter what practice it is. I mean, I'm talking about the proper religious practices. And then you can also derive some enthusiasm for your own practice. But within a devotee community, we all do service, we all chant, we all come to the temple, some more than others. But if we spend time with each other, then we will also derive enthusiasm. We also will get more enthusiasm for our own practices. That's why it's so important for the devotees of any community to spend time together, come to Sunday feast, cook together to cook together for the Sunday feast. I mean, I'm making an advertisement yet now for anybody in the vicinity of Gokulokadam who's listening to this lecture, who is also able to cook. We would be happy if you would volunteer once a while to cook, because it's quite difficult to find people to cook for the Sunday feast. So feel free if you are inspired to do that service. But we understand from Durvasa Muni also that he misunderstood who Ambarish Maharaj was, because he just saw a king. And you can sort of see the office of a devotee, office meaning the position that he has, and you can misjudge him. So a king can be misjudged for a very materialistic person, because he has a lot of riches and he has to do a lot of things and he has to deal with the material world. But that has absolutely nothing to do with what caliber of devotee he is. And then you can have a street sweeper and a pot washer, and you can think, whatever, they're not so important. But they themselves can be fantastic devotees. It does not matter what it looks like from the outside. It matters. The thing is, you can very rarely fully understand the relationship that someone has with Krishna, because it is so private and so personal. But by their actions and by the influence that they have on you, it may be deduced whether their practice is good or not. We know that when someone comes like I mean, he can't come physically anymore, but Karamakanana Swami, Jayadvaita Maharaj, Indradimna Maharaj, Mahatma Prabhu, any Navina Nirada is coming next week, and we know that these devotees who seriously practice their Krishna consciousness and seriously follow Bhakti Yoga as They fully believe in it. That that faith spills over. That faith is infectious. Currently, I think I may be a little bit infectious, so that's why. But I mean, we want to be infected. We don't want to be infected with this that I have, but we want to be infected by bhakti. We want to be infected by enthusiasm for Krishna consciousness. And the great devotees have that. They carry the bhakti yoga virus with them, and they spread it everywhere, and they infect everyone in a good way with it. So depending on how, I mean, I've had experiences like that where I where you spend time with someone, and when you go out from that darshan or from that time, you just feel like, oh, Krishna consciousness is even better than before, and I want to give everything, and everything is wonderful, and that is the sign of a sincere devotee, of a pure devotee, is how much we ourselves are inspired to also be like that. So yeah, we should never ever judge devotees from the outside, from what they look like, or and also we also have to understand Ambarish Maharaj is a pure devotee, but devotees can also have difficult times. So we should also have mercy on them if they go through a difficult time and they're they're not so on top of everything. It's fine. It happens. We're all on a process. We're all on a journey to become purified, and purification can look different for different people. But every single one of us is being purified in some shape or form, and it may look different from person to person, and we may not even know what a devotee is going through because they don't show it. But yeah, so we should try and be like Ambarish Maharaj, in that we show mercy to others that are not there yet. That's why somewhere in the Bhagavatam it's written, and I can't remember where, that if you there are three levels. There are people higher than you, there are people on the same level as you, and there are people lower than you. And if you can treat your superiors with respect, if you can treat your equals like friends, and if you can treat your juniors with mercy, then you will be happy. Your life will be without suffering. That is how important relationships are, and how important it is to treat people with respect. So we treat our seniors with respect because we can learn something from everyone, but we want we want their mercy, so we treat them with respect. And the friends are the people that you need to help you. They are your companions. They are the people that make the journey worthwhile. It's always again, there's a movie. There was a movie, it was based on real events. It's called Into the Wild. It's about a young man who he wanted to experience absolute freedom, and for some other reason, he chose to go to Alaska. And he went there, and he went into the wild, and he found an old bus. He didn't tell his parents where he was, so his parents were freaking out. They didn't know where he was, and so he just kind of he just basically took sannyas from life. He just gave up everything, and he went into the wilds of Alaska, and he found an old bus that somehow ended up somewhere, and he he lived there, and then he also lived according to, he ate the plants that were, he was pretty much self-sustained, and then one day he ate he ate something that looked like a potato but wasn't really a potato. It was kind of it was a potato, but it was poisonous, and it Shishi Radha Madan Mohan Ki Jai. So he then, this potato, this thing that he ate, had the effect that it slowed down his digestive system completely. So he could not digest any food. And you see, I mean, there's a book. I think his sister also wrote a book about him, and he wrote about it and everything. And so in the beginning, he was completely free, and this freedom was wonderful, and he didn't have any responsibilities and whatever. So he experienced the sort of renunciation, because the renunciation is one of the opulences of Krishna. So he experienced that because he renounced everything. But in the end, so he died in that bus. And the next spring, so it was just before winter, and the next spring, some hikers found him. They found him a few months ago, few months later. But they also found a book that he had with him, and in that book he wrote, "Happiness is only real when shared." So he went from renounce, giving up everything, and in the end he realized it wasn't everything. It's only the happiness that he felt was temporary, because he couldn't share it with someone. So when we see that, when we think of the impersonalists, the ones that want to merge into Brahma, they are the ones who give up everything and go into the wild and be absolutely free. But he wasn't ready for it, so they're not ready for it. So they realize that no, the soul needs relationship. The soul cannot be without relationship. You cannot renounce the soul. The soul has desires. The soul has to have relationships. The soul has to be in relationship with someone. So, and that is where the true happiness lies. So the relationship with, that is why the people that, the souls that merge with Brahma, the Brahman, they come back at some stage, because it's not, they can't stay there. You cannot stay there. So in the same way, like this person, I can't remember his name. Poof, gone. He realized that happiness is only real when shared. So we as devotees know that. It may be true that some devotees irritate you like nothing else, and you may get angry with them, and you may think, oh God, bloß nicht diese. But devotees are people who want to serve Krishna. And yes, we do have our individual baggage that we carry. We have our individual karma and our individual, in German we say Marotten, that we have. We have our things that just are part of us, our quirks. But we all try to serve Krishna. And I think it was Karamakanana Swami that says it's better to be with devotees than that's, it's better to be with a devotee that irritates you than be with a non-devotee that doesn't. So it is so important for us to value the relationships that we have, and in this community we are very independent. Before we moved here to Galokadam, before Godram and I moved to Galokadam, someone told us that if you cannot be happy with yourself, then Galokadam is not the place for you. Because we are very independent, and everybody sort of does his own thing. So, and I love the place. That's why we stayed here. We eventually, we in the beginning, we wanted to come here just for a year so that Godrum can finish his master's training. But it was so nice that we stayed. So please don't take this as a criticism, but being here for 4 or 5 years already, yeah, the community spirit is something that can be developed a little bit still. And we have devotees that are trying, but it is so, I mean, just imagine that somebody takes it all away. Someone tells you somehow Galokadam just disappears, and we have to live here without Shri Shri Radhaman and Mohan, without the devotees. It would be terrible. It would be absolute hell. So the thing that Durvasa Muni, to bring all of this back to what we are reading, the thing that Durvasa Muni is learning through this Leela is to appreciate the devotees and to not take them for granted and to show them great respect and to hear from them and to spend time with them. So, yeah, that's the lesson that we should learn, is to value the devotees around us. And every single devotee has value, whether they are in Krishna consciousness for 1 minute or 1 day or 1 year or 1 decade or many decades. Every one of us has value, and we can learn from each other, and every one of us has something that to bring to Krishna consciousness and to bring to the community that someone else doesn't have. So yeah, we should try to not be like Durvasa Muni and be captured by the rules and the regulations and the yogic powers and whatever, and just simply spend time with one another. So with this, please come to the Sunday feast tomorrow and spend time with us. And yeah, it would be wonderful to see everyone that is listening online and in the community here as well. All right, that's me. Sorry, this was a very preachy lecture that sort of, I didn't plan on it, but it happened. Any thoughts, any questions, any realizations?
Vielen Dank, Herr Rossi. Also ein paar Gedanken. Zum einen, also Karma schreibt auch Present, dass wir wirklich die einzigartige, also dass jeder eine einzigartige Eigenschaft hat, und dass wir das in den Devotees sehen sollen. Und deshalb auch daran orientieren, dass wir auch sehen sollen, dass Krishna nicht erfreut, gut zu Welt kommen. Und weil du gesagt hast, dieses in dem Buch von den Verschworenen in Alaska stand,
Happiness is only real when shared.
Also, dann habe ich so gedacht, naja, möglicherweise geht es Krishna ja auch so.
Mhm.
Aber er hat ja, sage ich mal, diese drei ganzen Teile und auch sehr Parade, um diesen liebevollen Austausch zu haben. Da habe ich mir echt gedacht, warum hätte man sich das gar ersparen können? Deswegen mussten wir jetzt ja alle da sein und dieses jetzt getrennt sind und dann wieder zurück und so weiter. Aber wie gesagt, auch Gott kann nicht ohne.
Yeah, I mean Krishna never comes. Krishna never comes to whenever he has his leela. Krishna never ever comes alone, ever, not a single time. There's always some reason why he comes, and what's the main reason he comes? To save the devotees, to have exchange with the devotees. So Krishna came with all his cowherd boys, all his gopis. Ramachandra came with his brothers. Lord Chaitanya has the Panchatattva. Matsya has the devotee that is King something with an S. Yeah, Satyavata. Nishingadev came alone, but also not alone because he came for Prahlad. So he never ever comes alone. So that's why the thing about Kali Yuga is that Kali Yuga, the main feature of Kali Yuga is that people think they can do things alone. People that do things on their own without any help, those are the people being praised in Kali Yuga. But that's very unhealthy because it's not possible. At some stage, you do need some help. So, devotee relationships are very, very important. And somehow, another thing of Kali Yuga is that we are so busy trying to stay alive that we forget one of the most important ingredients in staying alive is just being together. Now, you had one question or thought?
Englisch oder?
Nee, also auf Deutsch auch.
Ja, ich finde, das war ein sehr guter Punkt mit der Community, dass wir hier so arbeiten können.
Mhm.
Weil das ist, ich wohne ja nicht hier, ich komme ja immer wieder zu Besuch. Und das merkt man schon, dass irgendwie das fehlt. Und ich glaube, das ist auch einer der Gründe, warum hier Personen fehlen, weil sie vielleicht auch nicht so aufgehoben fühlen. Verstehst du, wie ich meine?
Mhm.
Und wie könnte man jetzt machen? Also wie könnte man jetzt eine Gemeinschaft bilden? Weil es ist, glaube ich, auch einfach schwierig, hier im Tempel leben ja eigentlich hauptsächlich erfahrene Gott, die schon etwas älter sind. Und ich denke, es ist auch normal, wenn man älter ist, zurückgezogen wird für sich. Ist,
Ja, jeder hat so seinen Platz, ja. Also wenn ich das hätte antworten können, dann hätten wir eine ganz andere Gemeinschaft gehabt. Ja, the thing with communities, Krishna conscious communities, and that it is really, really a problem. It's not a problem. It's a challenge. And I can see the difference because I experienced something different in South Africa. The community that I had there in the university, especially that was a community that was really, really, really full of boys. It was very male oriented. I mean, just there were a lot of boys coming in there. The ashram was full and whatever. But the wonderful thing about this ashram was that those boys are still friends. Whether they were Krishna consciousness or not, those boys would have been friends anyway. And in a Krishna conscious community like this one, that's not always the case. The thing that brings people together in a Krishna consciousness community is Krishna. But we just look at this community. We have how many different nationalities we have here. And we all have different. The thing is that we all have our bodies. We know that we are not the body, but we still have our body. We still have our subtle body. We still have our culture that we were born into, and the cultural rules, the language, the culture, the people, the country, the history. We all have that, and that cannot be ignored. But it makes it difficult for people to stay together because we would not have been together if it were not for Krishna consciousness. And these differences, so those boys in South Africa, they are still friends. They are all over the world right now, but they're still friends because they all came from sort of the same background. They were all sort of the same age. They all had the similar upbringing, and they were all just the same kind of people. They liked each other, apart from Krishna consciousness. And that makes such a big difference. So that's the main challenge, is that as devotees, we are not only trying to be Krishna conscious together, but we are also just people trying to live together. And we have to deal with different kinds of mentalities, different cultures, and different languages, and whatever. And trust me, it is extremely difficult. If you're not a foreigner living in a foreign country, it's not that obvious how different cultures can be and how subtle the differences can be. But we have Krishna consciousness. So the devotees especially have to try, and we have to try. It's good what you said. The appreciation is extremely key. Without appreciation, nothing can happen. You have to look at a devotee, number one, and see Krishna's also in that devotee. And whether I like that devotee as a person, Krishna is there. So I have to like Krishna in them. And therefore I have to treat them properly. But each and every devotee has some quality that they bring to Krishna consciousness. And we have to work very hard in finding those qualities that they have, and we have to appreciate it. That's the one thing. And the second thing is, Prabhupada gave us so many things that we can do together, and we just have to do them together. That's how you build it, a community. A community cannot be built without people doing stuff together, without people going through things together.
What did Prabhupada say about it? What should we do together? Except for chanting.
No, I mean, I'm just saying, Prabhupada gave us Harinam. Prabhupada gave us the books. Prabhupada gave us the morning lecture. He gave us the whole temple program. He gave us Namahatas. Prabhupada, we should just do things together. Whatever it is we do together, we should just do it together with devotees. There's no specific quote, but no, yeah.
Lassen wir mal zwei Aussagen von meinem spirituellen Meister ein. Also, zum einen hat Kamala-sita gesagt, it took him many years to deal properly with the devotees. Also, selbst wenn du den Techniker dran kam und sagt, sehr lange gebraucht, bis er gelernt hat, mit den Devotees umzugehen und später dafür, dass Und eine andere Sache ist noch, da habe ich ihn gefragt, als es für mich so um Wohnortswechsel ging, und ich hatte ja eine Community, da war ich mit Devotis zusammen, das war wirklich Freundschaft. So, und da habe ich gesagt, also wenn ich diese Frauen so kennengelernt hätte, mit denen bin ich auch Freunde geworden, auch ohne dass sie Devotis wären. Ne? Und dann, aber es war halt eben spirituell nicht ausreichend, ja, für mich. Und Kamala-sita hat gesagt, also wegen der Freundschaften dort zu bleiben, ist eine und ist kein Privileg. Das fand ich ziemlich.
Ja, klar. So, first of all, was hast du das erste Ding, was er gesagt
Er
hat?
hat gesagt, dass
It took Karamakanana Swami many years to learn how to deal with the devotees properly, and I mean, he had very severe consequences of not dealing properly with the devotees, but now we can say he was absolute expert. I mean, I don't know of anyone else who could deal with such a diverse group of people in such a personal way. I mean, he was definitely the most personal person, Swami, that I knew. So yes, yeah, dealing with the devotees, but also because he learned how to appreciate them. The thing with Karamakanana Swami is that you always felt appreciated as a person. And he never made you feel like a waste of oxygen or a waste of space. He knew that you are a devotee and you serve Krishna and therefore you have value, punkt. No? And also the second thing is, yes, to be attached to just stay in your comfort zone with your friends and having devotional service. That's also not always great because every soul has his journey, and every soul you need to listen to Krishna. And so if that means you have to leave your friends and go make other friends, then that has to happen. But friendship is necessary, but just staying in one place just because you have friends and you know that actually spiritually it's not so great, but you have friends, then no, it's good, but it's not good. But that doesn't mean that we don't need friends. We do need friends wherever we go. Okay, one more thing.
One key for him was he learned to appreciate that the people are different.
Yes.
Also gelernt, sehr zu schätzen, dass jemand anders ist.
Yes.
Ein ganz entscheidender Punkt. Also
Yes.
woran mich normalerweise eigentlich stören würde, das wertzuschätzen, dass der andere völlig anders.
It's interesting in if you look at psychologists who therapists who also work with couples, like relationship therapists. There's one woman, and she has I can't remember her name, but she's quite famous, and she specifically works with couples that have very severe problems. And she also had a podcast with Jay Shetty about her work, and then he asked her the question, because she's been doing this for 20, 30, whatever years, and he asked her, what is it that you've learned about relationships that work that you thought back then that's different now? And she said that in the beginning, she thought a working relationship is based on things that you have in common, things that are the same. Yeah, Gemeinsamkeiten. But now she thinks that strong relationships and relationships that work are those people who can value the differences, that know that, okay, we are different, but they respect the differences. They can they can appreciate the differences. And that's exactly what you said, is that it's not, yes, of course, that's why you have these levels. Friends are people that are friends because they have some sort of the same wavelength, same something. You need that. But for all other relationships, you also have to value the differences. Because that's what Krishna does. He values each and every one of our differences. It's not the same. He doesn't like the same. Not always. But yeah. So very, very good point. You wanted to say something?
The thing about friendships and spirituality is that they can go away deep.
Yes.
There's a video of in Garuna's where he talks about friendship between Narottam Das Thakur and what was the name of the fellow?
I don't know. No.
Kamala-sita.
I don't know. I don't know. I have to Google it. Let's Google it. I can Google it. Ja, was man nicht ChatGPT fragen kann. Warte mal, einen Moment, wir werden. Are you sure it's Narottam Das Thakur?
Yes.
Okay.
We can also look in the book for in Jnana.
Srinivasacharya Shamananda Prabhu. Shamananda Prabhu?
No. And anyhow, I will look it up later, but it's not so important what the name was. But they had such a deep friendship, and they relish even their transcendental mellows. This is like the most intimate thing, the personal relationship one has with Krishna. They relished their relationship together with Krishna. There's something that is much deeper than any material relationship. So the friendships in Krishna consciousness, they should go even deeper in material. So we should actually have a much stronger community than material communities.
Yes, but still, we have to remember that Krishna consciousness is a process, and we all are on different levels at different stages of our journey. And we all, I mean, that's the difference between children being born as devotees into devotee families versus we that come from outside. We all have stuff to carry, and yes, that is the goal, and that's what we have to work on, but we have to work on it very hard. And it doesn't happen just because you are together. I mean, if you ever get married, then you will know what I mean. It's marriage doesn't work just because you live together in the same house. It takes a lot of work, and yes, the depth is achieved over time, and you have to put in effort, and without effort it doesn't happen. And what happens then is, if you do meet someone that you would have been friends with anyway, then it can seem easy and yeah, okay, fine. But the depth happens especially when you can cultivate a friendship with someone that you would not necessarily have been friends with. And I can tell you that Gojum and I would not have met if it weren't for Krishna consciousness, number one. And I'm pretty sure we would not have come to, if we had met just without Krishna consciousness, I'm not always sure we would have been able to stay together. But now I think he's the best person. He's my favorite person. And I'm so glad that we met, and Krishna consciousness just makes it so much better. And it's also because we are extremely different. Ich komme, Krishna Karuna, ich komme. Ja. Nee, ich komm gleich. So what I can say is that Gojum and I are very, very different people. Just like very different. But the longer we work very hard to do things together in Krishna consciousness, and the longer I get to know him, the more I appreciate his differences. Like in the beginning, I thought, oh, ich will ihm nur aus dem Fenster. But now I think, thank goodness he's different. Like I really value how different he is from me. And that only happens if you spend time together. So in some shape or form, we have to spend time with devotees, and we cannot expect others to do it for us. If you want to spend time with devotees, you have to take the first step. And so that's how it happens, is just if you want to do something, you take the first step. And I know I'm preaching to myself now, but now I am going to take a step towards the Mahaprasadam, the Prasadam room, because I have to go and help Krishna Karuna. That's what I'm going to do now. So, Grantara Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Vansha Kalpatarubhyascha, Kripa Sinubheva Patitanam Pavanbhyo Vaishnavbhyo Namo Namaha. Gaura Bhaktivinoda ki jai. Indradin Maharaj ki. Haribol.